fun on the outside with brightly colored packaging and candy-like flavors, but what is on the inside of those cans of energy drinks has doctors concerned. Of course, these drinks are very popular with young kids and teens, and this morning, Dr. Benita Mupin from WellSpan Family and Pediatric Medicine at Rossville is here to tell us about some of the health concerns that parents should be aware of. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Kids are back to school, packing lunches, all of that kind of stuff, and these drinks seem to be marketed towards kids.
Right.
So obviously we know that there are already sugar in them. That's a concern, but what about caffeine as well?
Right. So there's way too much caffeine in there. The American Academy of Pediatrics came out and said no children should be drinking any energy drinks. Teenagers are only maybe can have 100 milligrams. Some of these cans have 500, up to 500 milligrams of caffeine per can. So it's leading to all kinds of ER visits, sicknesses, heart issues. So the recommendation now is no energy drinks in children.
So what can caffeine do to a child?
So the caffeine mainly causes cardiac issues, so palpitations, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, can cause neurological problems like anxiety, panic attacks, seizures, and it's also so the caffeine is not causing kidney issues, but the other stuff that's in there is causing damage to kidneys as well.
And how does this differ? Caffeine levels, sugar levels from like drinking a cup of soda?
So soda, like a cup of coffee is like maybe 100 milligrams of caffeine or maybe 50 milligrams of caffeine, depending on how strong you go. So, maybe 1 cup of coffee for a teenager who needs to, is a little tired from not sleeping well the night before, something maybe is okay. But any more than that is not recommended. And these are very different from like your Gatorades and Pedialytes of the world where it's just electrolytes and they use that for after sports. This is being used as a meal supplement. It's being used right before sports, and that can become very dangerous.
So what are some good alternatives then?
So, like watered down Gatorade, watered down juices, just straight up water is great just to keep them hydrated. But this is causing dehydration because the caffeine will pull the fluid out of your body as well. So it's not doing what the kids think it is.
It's so hard once the kid has had this, though, for you to start saying, okay, we're going to water this down, we're going to do this. How do you have those conversations? And, at what age do you think they realize of having the conversation of this is bad for your overall health? This is not going to help you in the way that you think it will.
So we start talking about it at the 10, 11-year-old well child visit because the 11 to 14-year-old age group has more than doubled ER visits because of these caffeine issues. So I start usually around 5th grade and we talk about the health effects and I get the parents involved. And so if you start it young, then it's easier to make those changes. Whereas if you're 15, 16 and you're already used to it and you're addicted a little bit because you've had all this caffeine, it's harder to make that break. But it's very important in the long run, especially if they're going off to college and they're making these decisions by themselves. They need to know what's behind that.
Yeah, important stuff and scary stuff. And sometimes parents can overlook this because it is kind of marketed a little bit more towards kids, but important to know the dangers that could come with the caffeine.
Exactly.
All right, well, Dr. Mupin, thank you so much as always. And if your child needs to be seen by a doctor at WellSpan, it's back to school season. There's a good chance they do. We have more information on how you can make an appointment. It's on fox43.com.